you and your business are not two separate entities. Your business is a reflection of you, or you are a reflection of business. In fact, actually, whatever you do, your business is going to reflect in that.
If you go to an airport or if you go somewhere and you see somebody wearing an RV hat, it's legacy.
That doesn't actually happen by fluke. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's a luck," and it just falls in your lap.
Adventure hai, sab kuch hai. मैं जाता हूँ, Dad, I'm going to just go win this bike and I'll come back and then I'll go to the academy. Go for it. Ja Simran, ji le apni zindagi. It happened. It's a good button. This is a good button.
I know. We need to have this in our life as well. हमारे life में होना चाहिए. अरे कोई ताली नहीं बजा रहा, खुद के लिए ताली बजाओ.
एक button दबाओ, applause वाला button. Focusing on your passion, identifying it is the most important.
So first of all, thank you so much, Rannvijay, for taking the time out. I know you're so busy with so much of work that you have, so many things. Personally, I'm a big fan. And before I proceed, let me say hello from my wife and my sister-in-law. Said, we love Rannvijay. Say hello from my side. So hello from their side, okay?
So, I just want to say hi to all of them. And just want to say, I was hearing you for the last 10 minutes. And the passion with which you talk about following your passion is amazing. Amazing. It was really good. You speak so well. And I was looking at all the comments. So I'm happy that I'm part of the Passionpreneurs Summit 2021. And you're the best guy to host it because everything is like with passion.
That is very, very sweet of you. Thank you so much. I try to do even 1% of your energy. At least I can. But, you're very grounded and humble. And I saw, a lot of your, entire journey. I actually watched the entire episodes of entire journey. Like I was watching this roadies, from the beginning as it started. Now I've lost the touch, but, it's really, really good, really, really good. So tell us, Rannvijay, I'm going to be very straightforward. A lot of people look at your journey and they really, really get inspired. Help us understand how this journey shaped you into person who you are. Like, just some dark times. I don't want to just talk about inspiration. I also want to talk about the failures and did you have the failures? Did you have the dark times? What is the struggle like before Rannvijay became Rannvijay who he is today?
Oh, it's an easy, simple question, but the answer is very complicated. I'm going to start from the beginning. One of the things that I truly recognized are the few things that I wanted to do in my life, the passions that I had. And thanks to my parents' upbringing, both my dad and mom were also army officers' kids. My nana was also an army officer. My dada was also an army officer. And I saw growing up that a lot of the things that I wanted to do, for example, I want to ride bikes, right? I want to play sport. I wanted to travel. And I wanted to have lots of adventures in my life. And I wanted to travel and learn from different things. People say that when you travel a lot, you learn, you meet new people, you know their traditions, you know what they eat, you know the plants that grow there, you know the wildlife that's growing there, and you learn. So that is what I want to do. And I saw from whatever exposure I had, I saw that the army had it. So if I became an Indian Army officer, I would get all those things that I wanted. And I was all set to do it. I gave my entrance exams, the CDS exams, and then you get an SSB. I cleared my SSB. There's a medical. I cleared my medical. I'm all set to join the army. Everybody was very happy. I'm the eldest of my generation in the family. So they were all very happy. There were lots of dinners and parties saying, Hamara beta settle ho gaya. The tradition of the family, the sixth generation of the family is going to go to the Indian Army. And in those 2 months, I got an opportunity, like you said in the introduction, that there is a show, some show, because it was the first show of roadies, first season. So nobody knew whether it's going to be big or small or nothing, because the first 5 years, it wasn't even big, by the way. But the winner will get a charisma. Now, for me, after my commission in the IMA, I would have spent that money on a charisma. So I said, hey, seems like fun, adventure hai, sab kuch hai. मैं जाता हूँ, Dad, I'm going to just go win this bike and I'll come back and then I'll go to the academy. Go for it. Ja Simran, ji le apni zindagi. It happened. So I was like, great. I went for it. This is the first time that I saw all the things that I wanted in my life outside of the army. First time. I was like, yeah, coupled with creativeness. So all these guys sat in an office and they created that we will go from this point to this point, then there will be a river crossing, they will hang, they will do this, maybe they have to fend for themselves, they have to get food, there'll be archery, this and that. And I said, yeah, this is amazing. And I never had the exposure to those things. So I came back home and I told my parents that maybe I want to try this. I think I can get what I want even outside of the army. And in the army, we have so much exposure. We've seen everything. My dad retired as a lieutenant general. My chacha retired as a lieutenant general. So I was like, maybe I can bring something else to the table, some new experiences for this family, some new exposure for this family. Of course, हवा लग गई है, लोग पहचानने लगे हैं तो अपना कोई हीरो समझ रहा है. All those things happened. And a lot of my dad's friends also said, कि अरे TV पे आके सबको लग जाती है ये यहाँ पे. And we didn't know anybody in Bombay, nothing. But my dad and my mom said that, if this boy has the confidence to say that he wants to do something else, who are we to stop him? So after which it took me 9 months to figure out what to do. And I was going for different, that people say it's a struggle period, but I feel like saying that it's not the struggle. It is what is needed for you to go through to realize when you have something. Yeah, what do you have? Because you were there, you were standing in line with 500 people and you wanted a particular job. Now that you have the job, be grateful. Don't be like, oh, itna time, wait, kyun kara rahe ho? Why are you doing this? And people tend to forget it very, very, very quickly. So I try to remind myself of those days when I had not joined the Indian Army, a respectable career for 40 years, to do something. And I was trying for 8-9 months, and before Roadies 2 happened, I was trying to do many things, and it's not easy. But it is not something that I like to harp upon. Ki bhai, mere struggle days to bahut mushkil tha, because everybody has got their own thing. And even in corporate, even in the Indian Army, even as a young lawyer, as an intern, everywhere, the first few years of your life are tough. It's just that in my line of work, it's called struggle. No, I just say it should be the beginning when you're like a young. When you start your career, everywhere it's going to be tough, right? You gotta do it. So, but after that, what happens is that for me, it's very important to be current, because I have chosen to live a certain kind of life, and that's what I want to do. But how many times can it happen, right? So, एक बार ही हो गया, आपने आप contestant बन गए, the next time you become a host. How many times is it going to happen? How do you keep rediscovering yourself? How do you keep making yourself current? Is not easy. You got to read. If somebody wants to talk to me about basketball, which is one of my passions, I used to play. I know everything about it. I read up, I catch up. Even in this busy schedule in the morning, if I get some internet somewhere, I will know what game happened between which teams, what was the score, who played what, how many 3-pointers has Stephen Curry achieved. What that did is, now this is exactly how it's going to. What that did is when the NBA came into India in 2011, they started looking for people who could promote the league. And because I was following my passion all those other 7-8 years since 2003, they zeroed down on me. He plays basketball. He knows the NBA. He's passionate about it. Let's pay him to do exactly what he wants.
So that doesn't actually happen by fluke. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's a luck," and it just falls in your lap. So
you said it took you 1.5 years, right?
Yes.
And you kept at it. When you're like, I tell influencers and people who are doing. Now I'm in different parts of the country and going to different forests, national parks, and I meet people who are doing handicrafts and stuff like that. They start with one thing. Then becomes 2, then becomes 3, then people find out, then people like me are going there, we're going to talk about it. It's going to increase. But your passion for it cannot be fake. It cannot be, jab mujhe paise milenge, tabhi karunga main. Nah, you have to be that thing without anybody making the resources for it. And then you continue to do it and you become so good that people start saying, "Hey, Rannvijay, please, you love to ride bikes. Can you ride our bike to Leh? Because you've done it 10 times. We've seen it. Now we will pay you." Or do you want to go to, you love animals and wildlife. Will you go to different national parks across the country? Yes, I'm doing it right now. But it happens from me doing it without anybody supporting it before. So passion का ये होता है कि आप ना अपने, you can't sit on your couch and tell your dad, "If you had given me great coaching, then I would be a great cricketer." No, if you get up in the morning at 4 o'clock and before your school, you go and practice, and after school, you finish your homework and then you go to practice. You don't hang out with your friends. You don't chill out. You don't go coffee cafe day and all that. Then after 5-6 months, your father himself will say, आपकी लगन, आपका passion देखकर, we've gotten you a coach. So those are the things, and I've done this with many different things. You were saying something. Sorry, I cut you.
No, that's fine, that's fine. I mean, opportunity होती नहीं, opportunity बनानी पड़ती है, और opportunity बनाने के लिए, to make the opportunities, you got to become the worthy of it, and to become worthy of it, you got to live it. That's in short. If you want if you want name, fame, money, success that Rannvijay has, become worthy of that. And to become worthy of it is to doing that again and again and again.
𝗪𝗲𝗍, I'd like to say something that, luckily or unluckily, and I'm very grateful for what I have. I'm very grateful when people come up to me, and it's great. I love it. And but the plan was not to be famous. The plan was that for as long as I'm around, I get to live the life that I want to. Now in the next 2-3 years, I've already started saying it, and it's going to happen. I want to do the same things with my daughter. She's going to be 5 in Jan. I want to show her. I want to show her the lions. I want to show her the rhinos. I want to show her what an elephant. What I want to show her all of this, right? That's my next thing. So the idea was not कि मैं famous हो जाऊं, because famous बहुत लोग हैं. Famous कोई भी हो जाता है, ठीक है? लेकिन आपको क्या करना है लाइफ में, अगर वो, if that is in your head, man, if that is clear, and that comes from your education, your exposure, and I'm saying some of us are privileged, but my thing was that to get to live this life, if I had to be a miner, I would have done that. If I had to be an artist, I would have done that, because that would fund my passion, right? Sometimes people get very confused कि यार मैं इतना अच्छा आर्टिस्ट हूँ, मेरे को आर्ट के ही पैसे क्यों नहीं मिलते? पैशन पहले आप करो, जब आप बहुत करोगे ना तो अपने आप चीजें आ जाएंगी.
Yeah. I mean, I'll ask you this question. I think you said something very important. Like you spoke about a lot of youngsters, especially youth, and I've seen millions of people following youth. So we have certain audience in as well who are youth and fan of yours. Of course, people like me also fan, not just youth. But
you're young, yeah.
So a lot of people are youngsters, especially, are fame and fortune driven. And what you just said was profound. I also started my journey like this. I never thought that I will make money out of it. I never thought I'll have Ferrari. I never thought I'll become a millionaire. I never thought I'll have lakhs of followers in just 3.5-4 years. I just started my journey 3-4 years ago. I never that. But how do you develop that thinking? Let's go a little deeper. Like, वो कैसे minority का जो you mentioned that if nobody's doing it, I'm still minor, I will still do it. ये thought process कैसे लाना है? Because I think that is the seed of everything.
The idea is to first, it's very simple. Let's not complicate it. When you were in the 12th standard, right? When I was in the 12th standard, all I wanted was my parents to be very proud of me. Enough money to be able to buy whatever I feel like eating. ऐसा भी नहीं था. I didn't want to eat in Michelin star restaurants. मतलब enough money to fill petrol in a bike, right? And enough money to, if my friend wants to do it, maybe I can pay for it, right? Which was around, उस time पे मैंने estimate लगाया 50,000 rupees महीने के आएंगे तो life बन जाएगी, right? Now I keep going back to that place, saying that what are the things that you wanted in your life? I just want to provide for my family. My luck is such that all the things that I want to have fun with are not really expensive things. Riding a bike, once you have a bike, but it's not as expensive as other things. I love to play basketball. If you have a sneaker and you have a basketball, it's not very expensive to play basketball. I play ultimate frisbee. I play a lot of these sports. When you're into sports, the thing is, it takes 3-4 hours of your time. You become fit, right? And you don't have the energy to go and sit and just chill and spend money anywhere else. You just want to and you want to conserve your body. You want to eat right. So playing sport at a high level really helped me focus to what is it that I want in my life. Now, I meet a lot of youngsters who are actually chasing fame and name, because they have an idea that a famous person must live like this. The thing is that you want fame because you have seen somebody else who's very famous, and that person is doing some crazy things that you want to do. I am saying, because a lot of people are famous and then they don't know what to do with their fame, because they're still getting up and doing some boring things that they're bored of and they're depressed and stuff like that. So you have to be a person who loves doing things. And if it's being famous that pays for it, if it's being an engineer that pays for it, if it's being a CEO, a shark in the market, an investor, that is it. So for me, that was important. Anything that could fund my life of adventures that I want to lead, and I could just make life a little more comfortable for my parents. Now it extends to in-laws, wife, kids also, because you grow, and you can also grow your area of jurisdiction or responsibilities. वही यार वो फंडे अगर क्लियर हो जाए ना, so I ask a lot of youngsters, sir मेरे को बस famous होना है, मेरे को बहुत बड़ा actor बनना है. Okay, tell me, say for example you have 100 crores. You've just won, you've done a film and you got 100 crores. What are you doing now? He's like, now I have a big house. Okay, you have a big house, and I have a very fast car. Okay, I have a bike. Okay. What are you doing? You get up in the morning. What is your day like? Day, matlab, I'm a star now. What is my day? They don't know. They don't know what is the end game. For me, it would be get up in the morning, go take my daughter to school, get a nice coffee, have the coffee, come back, play with my son, then go to the gym, go to the beach, pick up my daughter, go play basketball, go ride a bike. I know what my ideal life is going to be. And not just daily. I also know that I will be going to this forest. I'll be going to see the, Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, and I want to watch NBA games. I want to watch NFL. I want to be there. I know these things, right? Kids have a vision of just famous hona hai. Famous hone ke baad kya karna hai pata hi nahi hai. Those ambitions are not there. So some of them will get famous and they will have the money, and then they will not know what to do. Then they'll buy, I don't know, things which are bling or, watches. I don't know what it is. I love people who are into watches, but they're passionate about it. उनको पता है कि वो रोलेक्स 1988 में किसने पहनी थी, उसकी वजह से उसकी आज वैल्यू क्या है, अगली वाली जो बैटमैन है या जो कर्मिट है या जो वो क्यों है, IWC, so if you're passionate about something is great, but just passionate about being famous, and I meet those guys on the shows that I do. क्या करना है? फेमस होना है. किस वजह से होना है? आप हमें शो पे ले जाओ. Because the other thing in my show is that my shows that I was doing, it's not they are famous because just by being themselves. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बहुत अच्छे सिंगर हैं, क्योंकि अगर कोई फेमस सिंगर है तो उसकी ये हो जाएगा कि अब उसको शोज मिलेंगे और गाने गाएगा और यूट्यूब पे अपने गाने गा सकते हैं या फिल्मों के लिए या अलग अलग चीजों के लिए. लेकिन कोई डांसर होगा तो फिर उनको कोरियोग्राफर बनना चाहेंगे या डांस शोज कर सकते हैं. मेरे शो में आके लोग फेमस हो जाते हैं. उसके बाद क्या? You gotta take that and make it into something. If you're a fitness trainer, right, and then you say that you've gone on a show and you become famous, now you can take that fame and you can become a bigger trainer. You can have sessions across Zoom. You can at one point have trainers, and then you can have 500 clients, and then you can come out with a protein brand, and then you can have a nutrition thing, then you can have plans, right? तो आपने फेम का फायदा उठाया, लेकिन सिर्फ फेमस होना is can't be an ambition.
Thank you for sharing this. Fame without passion is probably a disaster, and not having clarity of what you want to do with the fame. Again, fame should not even be the aim. The aim should be to follow the passion, and if that comes, it's a byproduct. So help us now. This is a new world, a new industry that many people actually don't know behind the scenes. So people see what is shown on the screen as an entertainer, as an educator, as an icon, influencer. Tell us a little bit about the business side of it. There are a lot of people who are talented, but not everybody became Rannvijay. A lot of people are hungry, but it's just hunger is one part, passion is one part. But how do you convert that skill that you have into a business that sustains the lifestyle that you want? How should people think the skill? Like artists are there, fitness experts are there, adventurers are there, like a lot of people are there, coaches are there. How should they think of a business angle? Do you have some mechanism that that you use?
First of all, one should not think of what they're not good at. कि पहले ना मुझे अपनी ये वाली कमी है ना इसको पूरा करना है. No. Concentrate and become better at what you're already good at. Right? That's the first thing I tell people. There are these people who are good at dancing, people who are good at, say they have a business idea, say fitness, and they have a protein idea which is vegan. They're like, oh, I'm going to do vegan also. I'm going to be this also. Then I'll have some which is whey, some for this. I'm like, dude, you concentrate on what you're good at, right? Once you concentrate and you kind of cater to a niche, then you can expand. But if you try to do something very big, especially with startups, the amount of capital that goes into it and to sustain that, and then they start talking about CAC and this and that. बहुत मुश्किल होता है. You just find out what your niche is. Who are you catering to? Are you solving a problem? And then उसमें लगे रहो. ठीक है? When you have capital, and when you have a lot of traffic coming in on, then expand, then do other things that you don't know, and then you hire the right people to do it. I think in my line of work, the best thing is an extension of a personality. That's very important. You got to capitalize on the business of your extension of your personality. What is this? If I'm a business-minded guy and I think I am capable of making the right kind of content, I should own the content. I should produce the content. Those are the very easy ways of, you must have seen a lot of actors do it. They produce their films and they get the profit, or they then sell it to different OTT platforms. That's the easiest answer, because you also kind of find those kind of partners while you're working. Yeah, this guy's a good producer. You're a big actor. Chalo yaar, tu meri film produce kar de, and I will not charge. Or hum log. But I think, depending on your education is, what your intent is, what your family background is, I love the idea of doing business. So, for example, if you can see the hat that I'm wearing, it's got a logo on it. It's an RV logo. This is my logo, which I own. And I did a deal with with a company that makes the best caps in the country. And I said, you don't have to pay me to be the brand ambassador, but every time I want my logo to be on many hats. So of course, camo goes with I have different designs. Every time a cap sells, I get a royalty. Okay. There are two things that are getting done here. One, I have generated a new revenue stream that doesn't exist, because there is no real cap companies that have brand ambassadors in India, at least. You might be with a Nike or a Reebok, and in their whole SKUs, one of them could be a cap. But if they do any work with me, I say, hey man, my cap category is out. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter, right? That's one. Secondly, if you go to an airport or if you go somewhere and you see somebody wearing an RV hat, it's legacy. Somebody is wearing I also did that with shoes, with Fila shoes, 12,500 pairs of RV shoes sold. I used to go and I'm like, this I learned from Michael Jordan. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, right? I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. Michael Jordan, in his 15 years of playing as the best player who's ever played in the history of basketball in the NBA, for 15 years, the total amount of money that he got as a salary was $97 million. 15 साल में, ठीक है? Now what he gets from brand Jordan, I think last year was 89 million just for 1 year. उसके 2012 से अगर देखो 76 million, 83 million, 88 million, 92 million, 101 million, ऐसे he's getting from the brand. That's the legacy of who he is. Not even playing. He's been retired for 18, 19 years. When Messi left the club and joined PSG, the new club, Michael Jordan got up $10 million richer. You know why? Because Messi joined PSG. PSG's brand is brand Jordan. The royalty of the jersey sales from the best player of football is still going to somebody who was the best player 20 years ago. That's called legacy. So if I have brands, so I have a clothing brand. A lot of times for the last 18 years, people look at, hey, what is cool? And they look at MTV, they look at me or whatever. And they're like, yeah, this could be the new style. Okay, I like to wear this in my college. I like to dress up like this guy and, wear a t-shirt and jacket. Why shouldn't I have a clothing brand? Right? So I figured out the guy who's best at it, or whose main job is to make clothes. And I said, I want to partner with you. Let's put in some capital. The brand's called Disrupt. Right? So, I mean, I'm in the process of I'm current. So I'm still going to be the face. I'll have other people. There's other influencers are doing it. But eventually I should own the brand, and there'll be a new guy who's very good at whatever he does, and he'll be the brand ambassador. Yeah. But the brand needs to be owned by somebody. So that's the idea. Like, I also invest in companies where I think I can be the face, take some sweat equity, like say Rage Coffee. I don't know if you've heard of Rage Coffee. That's something that I'm part of. I also do a lot of investments. And it's been happening since the last 7-8 years. And what does that do? As soon as Shark Tank comes to India, they want me to host it.
Yes.
It's that. So, I mean, I wasn't investing in companies or being a business guy, because ek din mujhe Shark Tank India ko host mile. No, I was doing it. And when they did their research, just like the NBA, they got to zero down on a guy who understands it, right? First of all, who knows what the job is. And the secondly, who understands business, who knows the terms, and who people can also say, yeah, this guy is the right host because he's into, so he invests all the time, right? And that's what I'm saying. Everything that I want to do, I got to start doing it. And eventually forces come together and they help me do it even better. And there's hard work everywhere. It's not easy, but it's just, I'm away from my family. I'm not sitting with my family. I'm not faffing. If you see my story today, I think I got up at 4:45 a.m. and I slept at 11:35. To also achieve your passion, you gotta, sometimes sacrifice other things. I don't hang out with my friends anymore. I just don't have the time.
I personally love what you said, Rannvijay, about the personality, because there's nothing else could separate you from other people brand than the personality, and the business is nothing but extension of your personality. And I also teach my students that you and your business are not two separate entities. Your business is a reflection of you, or you are a reflection of business. In fact, actually, whatever you do, your business is going to reflect in that. So whatever values that Rannvijay has, adventure, passion, energy, liveliness, all these things is reflecting into your cap, colors, brand. It is your brand, your personality, everything that you do in business is reflection of you. NBA, if you had to sum up, there are a few words that we can put and we can say, okay, that sounds like Rannvijay Singha, right? NBA ho gaya, business ho gaya, investment ho gaya, brand, youth, bikes, all these things. So guys, if this is a lesson, you should also think, how is your brand different? What is it that you're doing unique, right? Dev Gadhvi has his own brand. Dev Gadhvi has his own personality. Everybody's got their own personality. But help us understand. So now we are going from the personality, passion, to the other angle of becoming a personal character, like building a business. But to become that, like you now don't hang around with a lot of friends. Do you feel sad or no?
No. The real friends are the ones who are supporting me on my journey without being around. They know why I'm doing this, because I'm also living my life, right? While this is my work, I was with Lions like 2 hours ago.
And you still have with Lions.
So
you're still with Lions, by the way. Still now, virtually. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So between achieving, there has to be a balance. I am lucky that what my business is also something that is my passion. That's why my friends understand, my family understand that he's doing his thing, and he's doing it because I believe in whatever your potential is as a human being. You got to reach that potential. I got to be fair. I'm happy with whatever I have. I'm very happy. I'm very content. I think for the rest of my life, I'm good. But I got to reach the potential of the human being that I am, because in me becoming me, there are a lot of other people who have contributed. Right away, the first few people that I can say are my parents, my wife, my kids. I got to be fair to them, right? अपने लिए कमा के बैठ के अपनी लाइफ जियो तो हो सकता था, वो तो फिर फायदा नहीं है. I got to be true to whatever my potential is. I'm going to do as many businesses, as many things that I think I'm good at and I can contribute and change. The more resources that I have, the more people's lives I can touch, the more people I can employ, the more number of people I can empower, the more. I started a group of talented people called Squadron. The reason I started Squadron is because I was a brand ambassador of a adventure thing, and there was a skateboarder, and he said कि sir मेरे को मदद चाहिए, आपसे बात कर सकता हूँ. I spoke to him and I realized that he's a caterer. He's a waiter at a catering service, and he broke his hand, and his father broke his skateboard because he broke his hand. So he said, that. I said, how much money do you earn? He earned 20,000 rupees a month from that catering job, and he's like, if I don't do that job, there'll be no money at home. So I said, as a person who has the resources, just giving money to somebody becomes difficult all the time. So I started a group of people called Squadron, where a brand would come to us. They still do. And they will say, okay, Rannvijay plus these guys, we want 8 videos. One will be biking, one will be skateboarding, one will be BMX riding, one will be Varun Sood doing some basketball, and what can you do? So now, as an athlete, I pay him 2,40,000 rupees, which is the check that he goes and gives it to dad, कि ये पूरे साल का आ गया, अब मुझे पूरे घंटे आप skateboard करने दो, मैंने उससे कमा के दिया है. And he earns more. We've done brands like with Mumbai Indians, William Lawson, we did Honor Mobiles, we did Snickers, we've done Gatorade, we've done NBA, we've done all these brands that come to us, and it's okay, maybe 4 people, 5 people, but whatever money comes in, all these athletes who are best skateboarder, best BMX rider, there's a girl who can dance in 9 different forms. So we're like a talent pool of sports come fitness people who don't have any other. So imagine Red Bull without the actual product to sell. So we're that's the kind of culture. So I mean, I had to do that because I was like, I can't just start handing people, because I can only help him once. How does it become? How can I? So that is not a business as much as something that I can give back, right? And why can I? Because the other business and other things that I've kind of been part of helps me with the resources, with the cash flow to kind of do that. So that's what I mean. It empowers me. My own potential empowers me to do better and help other people.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. Do you have like some time if you have a self-doubt? Rutu's question is, at any point in time, do you feel self-doubt, self-sabotage? And if so, how do you overcome that? I mean, very good question, because sometimes fame comes with its cost. No?
I have been known to be a fit guy. I'm lucky that I was into sports. I was always fit. I would eat whatever I wanted and it would burn like that. I turned 34 and I was ripped. And I used to go tell people, just get fit, yeah, just do some 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, eat right, this and that. And a kid met me once at an IIM, Ahmedabad, I think. And he said, sir, I want to talk to you. Little big kid. He said, sir, aap to aise keh ke chale jate ho. Do you know what a fat person has gone through in their life? Have you ever been fat? I've never been fat. He said, okay. I just want to tell you that the last place that I'm comfortable is a gym, because everybody's judging me. Okay. And he said many more things, but here's what hit home. किसी को कुछ बताने से पहले ना, you got to walk in their shoes. And I started thinking that, am I that guy who talks a lot? बातें करता हूँ मैं, कि मैं वो बंदा था जो चीजें कर लेता था, अब मैं सिर्फ बातें करता हूँ. Am I that guy who is repeating the laurels? मैंने तो इस बिल्डिंग से आग लग गई थी, मैंने यहाँ से कूद दिया, मैंने ये कर दिया, I've done many things. Or am I a guy who can still do it? So I decided to, for many different reasons, put on weight.
Wow.
Be unhealthy. And then at a certain age, which is right now, dial it back. One of the things is to show people that at any age you can do it. Second is, I want to tell myself, I want to remind myself that I'm Rannvijay.
Wow.
I want to remind, right? And if not, then I'm going to settle with this fact that I'm not that guy. And I'll figure out what to do then. But मेरे को अपने बारे में जो गलत फहमी है, मैं उसको बार बार चैलेंज करता हूँ. तो मैं 106 kg का हो गया, अनहेल्दी, ब्लड प्रेशर की दवाइयाँ, पेरेंट्स को स्ट्रेस, वाइफ को स्ट्रेस, लोगों को स्ट्रेस. क्योंकि जब आप आउट ऑफ शेप होते हो ना, तो स्पेशली इन माय लाइन ऑफ वर्क, अब मेरे को ये कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज पता लगी है. पीपल स्टार्ट डाउटिंग योर कैरेक्टर. मैं जब ऐसा होके मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि मैं 106 kg का हूँ, मैंने जानबूझ के किया और मैं पतला हो जाऊंगा, देखना आप. आपके मन में पता है क्या चल रहा है? झूठ बोल रहा है. You start, so everything that I've done means nothing. He's married, he's happy, content, he's done.
He's done for life, yes.
People who know me are asking, is he okay? Is he happy in his marriage? Just because आपका आकार बदल गया है. अगर मेरे साथ जो ये चीज, मतलब मैं physically I have achieved things. If people can question me, can you imagine what's going through a teenage boy or girl?
Wow.
Can you imagine that? Because there's another thing. When you have a problem, like if the people, all of us become very sensitive about there should be ramps. If somebody is special needs, हैं, तो हम लोग सब बहुत sensitive हो गए. But when a person is fat or out of shape, you only call the problem out. तुम मोटे हो. आप उसके बारे में कुछ करते नहीं हो, आप उसको रिमाइंड कराते रहते हो. और फिर उसके कैरेक्टर पे, तुम्हारे में डिटर्मिनेशन नहीं है, तुम्हारे में तुम कुछ कर नहीं सकते. You're writing off the person, his capabilities, just because of certain shapes. So I said, you know what, this is something that I got to do. I put on weight. I was 106 kgs. Doctor said your blood pressure, cholesterol, everything is high. Because also with being big, you also have to be unfit. And then now I'm 79 kgs and I'm fit.
Wow.
And if I can do it at 38, so these are the ways that I kind of challenge myself. And And I feel like I can do whatever I put my mind to. This was one of the things that I did this year, this last couple of years. But there are other things that I keep. I'm like, can I do this? Can I do this? Okay, let me go for it.
Beautiful.
मेरे को उसमें मजा आता है अपने लिए.
Beautiful. I love the answer. I personally really love, and actually I never thought that मैं भी कभी इतना मोटा नहीं था. So I actually need to do something to experience something similar. I don't know, but crazy thing. So one of the questions that I think some of the people have and some resonating is, what is the importance of a mentor or a coach? Do you have like a coach? Do you have a mentor? And if so, do you believe in it, or you like your self-coach? What is your perspective on that?
I derive inspiration from many different people, but I realized something about that. Michael Jordan is very far. I cannot pick his brain. I can only see documentaries and I can only read about him. He's not telling me this himself. मजा नहीं आ रहा. So I look at people around me who are inspirational. Look at my dad. Look at my grandfather. My grandfather's gotten himself educated, his brother's educated, got himself married, everybody married, his wife's kids, wife's sisters, everything. He's done many things. He's still very humble and very educated, like still in the education business, still working. He's an ex-colonel. Him, I can ask questions. बड़े पापा यार, tell me, उस टाइम पे आपके पास पैसे नहीं थे, ये नहीं था, वो नहीं था, फिर आपने ऐसा कैसे किया? ओ बेटा आप निकल गए, you know. Now I can pick his brain. So why look for inspiration very far? Look at my dad. My dad was coming last in a horse riding race, a cross country race, and I saw him. I saw him coming first, and then his horse didn't jump the big log, and everybody went over. He went back, and he started, and by the end of the race, he came first. I remember watching it in 1988. Now I ask him, Dad, what made you think that you were coming first? Didn't you feel like hatash ho kya? Wahan pe baith kyun nahi gaye? Why didn't you just like, shit, yeah, I was coming first. This horse, why does this horse? Because that is what you would do. He said, yeah, one, I knew you were watching. And I have very high standards for everybody around me.
Wow.
He said, I could have come last, but I couldn't have seen you. I couldn't have had you see me not trying to come first. This is the guy who's my father, man. I don't have to look further. I look at my mom. My mom used to pick up 2 suitcases, and me and my brother, Harman, were naughty guys, 2 boys, used to shove us into a train, pick up the suitcases, put this, go out, get something to eat and drink. She just did it. She became a vice principal of a school. We had to go abroad, so she did some boutique things. She did many things. Just like, she paal diya bina kuch kiye. And she's a very strong woman. So I asked them, depending on what the situation is. I asked my grandfather. So it's very important to have a mentor, but in business and all, right? These are things that are life. These are life coaches, right? I can pick their brain. My chacha was also in the Indian Army. He was in the Indian Army shooting team. His focus is great. He also got shot in an encounter by, and then I asked him what went through, and you thought everything was over. So thankfully I have these people around me, but it's very important to ask questions of somebody who's been through something like this, especially in business. When we talk about entrepreneurs, having a mentor, having that one guy saying, dude, in a startup, every day you feel good and bad. Good, bad. When I started, तो ये था, हमारे पास पैसा नहीं था, ये हुआ, फिर एक दिन एग्जीबिशन की, इतने बिक गए, उस दिन से कॉन्फिडेंस आया, फिर ये किया, फिर वो किया. When somebody who's achieved is telling you, you're like, okay, all is well, So वो होना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड जरूरी नहीं कि एक ही हो. कभी कभी आपके लाइफ में आपको किससे कुछ ले सकते हो, आप अपने टीचर से, कभी आप बिजनेस के आइडियाज किसी ऐसे बंदे से जो शार्प बंदा है, कि फाइनेंस का आप किसी और से ले सकते हो. बट इट्स ओके टू हैव अ मेंटर. आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ किड्स लाइक, मैं हूं यार, मैं खुद ही करूंगा, मेरा वो खड़ दिमागी, वो फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए आदमी को. Be okay to hear yourself out. Also, when you discuss things, like when I'm saying all these things to you, I'm listening to what I'm saying, and my brain is again working, saying, acha, When you have more conversations, when you have good communication, you can also hear yourself out. And maybe before the answer coming from the other guy, you have heard yourself and you also get another option.
That is very good perspective. Can we give a big round of applause to Rannvijay? I mean, I love this And the conversation, yeah, it's good. Amazing.
It's a good button. This is a good button.
I know. We need to have this in our life as well. हमारे life में होना चाहिए. अरे कोई ताली नहीं बजा रहा, खुद के लिए ताली बजाओ.
एक बटन दबाओ, applause वाला बटन.
All right, good. So another question. I think we have just few minutes left. But I want to ask this question on behalf of all the people who are showing that. How do you keep the discipline? Like गोली नहीं होती है, tablet नहीं होती है इसकी. Like working in your life, like Ujjwala is asking, how do you keep discipline in your life? I think Army is second name, Army of Discipline. You are from Army family. Was it that the gift or?
No, I see. My dad and mom are like, I don't know how, they're very tough individuals, but they're very loving, and they kissed us and they hugged us. It's unheard of. My dad used to hug us and kiss us. Yeah. A very nice guy, and my mom was just a very balanced people. Discipline comes from incentivizing yourself. मैं अपना ना गोल सामने रखता हूँ कि अगर मुझे कई लोगों को इंस्पायर करना है, अपने आप को इंस्पायर करना है, अपनी लाइफ बेटर बनानी है, सुबह उठना ही पड़ेगा. मतलब अगर उठना ही है तो मैं 4:45 का अलार्म लगा के 4:44 उठ जाता हूँ अलार्म से पहले. मेरे दिमाग ही ऐसे चलता है. पर ऐसा नहीं है, मेरे को जब नहीं होता अगले दिन कोई काम या नहीं उठना है तो मैं 10 घंटे भी सो सकता हूँ. मुझे सोना बहुत पसंद है. मैं एक्चुअली इनहेरेंटली बहुत लेजी आदमी हूँ. मैं इतना स्पोर्ट्स खेलता, हाँ, इतना लगता, द लाइफ दैट आई एम लीडिंग उससे लगता नहीं है. बट आइडियली अगर मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना हो अगले दिन तो मैं 8-10 घंटे सो सकता हूँ, और मेरे को वो पता है कि बॉडी के लिए बहुत अच्छा है. बट डिसिप्लिन कम्स फ्रॉम यू रिमाइंडिंग योरसेल्फ व्हाई आर यू डूइंग दिस थिंग. You keep reminding yourself. If it's about fitness, you just remind yourself. Dude, the day I don't work out or the day I don't do this, I'm one step behind. मैं अपनी मेहनत जो कल की मेहनत की उस पे कैसे पानी फेर सकता हूँ? If I'm producing something and I've reached a certain place where I've conceptualized this and that, and one day if I slack and I go for छुट्टी for 7 days, it will all go back. नहीं. काम खत्म कर लो, छुट्टी का टाइम रखो और उसमें छुट्टियां में मजे करो. हर रोज ऐसा बैलेंस रखो कि काम के बाद खेलना है तो आपको ऐसा होगा नहीं, यार आई हैव टू गो, आई नीड एन आउटलेट, आई नीड अ ब्रेक, मेरा ना वो राइटर्स ये हो गया, ब्लॉक हो गया. कुछ ब्लॉक नहीं. अगर आप हर रोज की लाइफ में सुबह शाम थोड़ा खेलोगे, यार वो सैटरडे संडे को बाइक राइड कर लोगे, तो यू डोंट हैव टू से कि वो 15 दिन की छुट्टी चाहिए. बैलेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड वी आर द यंगेस्ट नेशन इन द कंट्री. We need to, we'll all be very successful and everything at 60, 65. We'll all have money, but we won't be able to go to concerts then, na? We won't be able to go to the Grand Canyon and trek down and put a tent there. So while we are achieving our dreams and all, please live and do those things that you want to, so that you get recharge in your business, recharge when you go back to office. You have more ideas. If you've done it with the people that you work with, you will have a better bonding. You will trust each other more. You will support each other more. And discipline comes from being there on Monday morning or doing your work, finishing it, and having the discipline to now enjoying. When you start doing it, then it's easy. Discipline is easy. It's easy. मेरे को नहीं खाना ऑयली फूड, क्योंकि जितना मैं ऑयली फूड नहीं खा रहा उतना ज्यादा मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं फिजिकली केपेबल हूँ, मैं यहाँ से चढ़ के वहां जा सकता हूँ, मेरे को जो चीजें करनी है, रॉक क्लाइंबिंग करनी है, उसमें मैं बेटर हो रहा हूँ. राइट? तो वो इंसेंटिवाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है अपने को. क्यों आपको डिसिप्लिन की जरूरत है? इस चीज की वजह से. और फिर वो याद आता है कि हाँ नहीं खाऊंगा मैं, या मैं इतने बजे उठ जाऊंगा.
Yeah, having a reason. My way of winding down is watching a movie, going to a theater or something whenever it's open.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I do that. I'm a big movie kida. What if you lose everything, or maybe you go back to time, and how you want to see if you become?
I just need these guys. My hands and my feet. My mom says, when I was 18 years old, I was in New York and I was working in construction as a construction worker. And 2-3 months later, I came back. I'd taken admission in a college there because I wanted to play basketball in New York. But 9/11 happened. So everything got pushed back. I was in a very good college in Delhi also. I was in Hansraj College doing BCom honors. So I continued to do that. But my mom said something to my dad. Because you're always worried, beta kya karega, kya nahi karega. My mom said, कुछ भी हो, ये भूखा नहीं मरेगा. जब तक इसके हाथ और पाँव है, ये कर सकता है, कुछ भी कर सकता है. Wow. So losing everything is is not materialistic. I just shouldn't lose the sense of being. I shouldn't lose what I have in here and my capability. पैसे तो आते जाते रहते हैं. I just need my parents, my family, my friends. I'll make anything at any time.
Yeah. I think आपकी self image शुरू से ही ऐसी powerful रही थी, or you had the self image problem? Because there are a lot of audience because of the childhood and upbringing, and they've had, whether it's obesity or failures in certain places or exams and all, a lot of people laughed at them, mocked them, and they grew up with weak self image and shy and introvert. जब उनको ऐसा environment नहीं मिला है, when they want to become bold, whether to start a business or follow the passion, and they're still not able to get through to that initial, the roadblock, what should they do?
अब सबसे पहले हाथ जोड़ के I'm going to say this again. The upbringing that I've gotten, being part of the army infrastructure, is unbelievable, and I thank my parents and the whole army organization. And it's नहीं हो सकता है. मैं भी अपने बच्चों को देने की try करता हूँ. बहुत मुश्किल है. That same kind of upbringing, because when they used to go for parties and they used to leave me with some uncle or auntie, you know who they were? Army officers. You know what he's teaching me? How to do knots, how to do different kind of knots.
Wow.
When people are watching other films outside, I'm watching The Bridge on River Kwai, Guns of Never On. It's just that exposure. But here's the thing. Because I didn't understand that, I did something in the last 4 years where I could relate to those guys. Where people, and I'm known. If you think in your friend circle, people can write comments, imagine what was going on when I was hosting the same shows. People are saying, ye ho gaya, wo ho gaya, depressed hoga, ye hoga. And that's fuel to my fire, man. Because I know inside who I am. I'm like, ando, aa raha hai, aane do.
That is powerful.
इस आदमी को जवाब देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. ये जब अगली चीज देखेगा ना मेरा, तो इसको इसका जवाब खुद ब खुद मिल जाएगा. And for the kids, I just want to say, look at some people around you who you think are people that you want to be like. Ask them questions. Take care of yourself. Read a lot about whatever you like. I know a lot about sneakers. I don't think anybody else is interested on this chat. I know a lot about sneakers.
I saw the video that you were putting. Where do I put the sign? And you threw the sign. That was hilarious.
I know a lot about sneakers because I was a basketball player. The only thing that one could attach themselves to was a basketball shoe. And I was like, मेरे को माइकल जॉर्डन का जूता चाहिए, मुझे कोबी ब्रायंट का जूता चाहिए. उसकी वजह से पैशन बढ़ गया. अब वो भी एक हो गया है कि कोई नया जूता आता है तो कहते हैं पहले रणविजय को भेजो, शायद हमारी प्रमोशन हो जाए. Whatever. So that's again passion driven. But I like to tell kids to take care of themselves. Find that thing that they're good at and excel at it. So, because once you're really like, you're the best musician ना, आपके आकार पे कोई देखता नहीं है. अगर आप अच्छा गाना गाते हो, आपका कोई भी आकार हो सकता है. Right? वो confidence comes from finding what you're good at and then just go for it. And hopefully through conversations like this, there are people around them, the underconfident kids के आसपास जो उनके parents हैं, उनके भाई बहन हैं, या teachers हैं, maybe they will help them out. But it's something that confidence building should be a priority in schools. Be proud of who you are. Don't be arrogant, but be proud of who you are. And everybody is here to achieve, like I said, you come to enjoy the planet. So if somebody is a 100-meter sprinter, ice cream खाने में taste वही है भाई. उसको ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं आता. So you have to know that. You're like, okay, यार, I am who I am. मेरे को इसमें चीज़ में मजा आता है. मैं ये करूँगा. मेरे को coding पसंद है. मेरे को ये पसंद है. करो. Okay, take pride in that. And hopefully, as parents, I'm trying to give my kids the kind of, that small achievements. Okay, we used to go to a place, कुतुब मीनार गए. शाम को आके मेरे डैड बोलते थे, okay, 2 minutes, tell me about your whole day. So we went, we took a red line bus. It was very crowded. And then we reached Qutub Minar. It was made in some, that kind of time that my parents spent with me built my confidence to talk about things, topics, anywhere, here, So if parents could do that with kids while they're growing up, if teachers could do it, if seniors could do it with their juniors in every organization. A lot of people in my MTV office, senior guys, they always when there's a presentation that all of them are working, they try to get the new guy to present. It's not for fun. it's because that exposure needs to be there. And these things happen. Team building exercises are very important. Because आप अकेले कहीं नहीं जा सकते एक टीम में आगे सबके साथ ही जाना पड़ेगा. You're as strong as your weakest member.
Wow. Wow. I know the time is up, and thank you first of all for spending so much time. What is the one piece of advice, like let's say for people listening, because I always tell my students that more than the content, the context is important. And if people are spending time with somebody like you, a successful person, the context just gets expanded bigger and better. And that actually sets the foundation of their success. If you have to give one piece of advice that really make a big difference in your life that you can give to everybody, whatever that one piece of advice, like this, I think is one of the mantra that I really live by most of the time.
One mantra, focusing on your passion, identifying it is the most important. Having an idea of a passion is different from actually having passion for it.
Okay, can you elaborate?
There is an idea of, I'll give you a very simple example. A lot of people think they want to be bikers. I want to be a biker, bro. I'm passionate about biking. जिस दिन असली में बाइक पे बैठ के जाते हो ना, जब धूल मिट्टी 4 घंटे 6 घंटे 8 घंटे बैक में दर्द होता है, जब ऑक्सीजन लेवल कम हो जाता है, जब सर में दर्द होता है, उल्टियां होती हैं लेह लद्दाख के आसपास, तब आदमी कहता है नहीं मेरे को बाइकर नहीं बनना है. What you were in love with was the passion, was the idea of that passion. You want to be a famous actor. You want to be. It's probably the idea of being a famous actor that you're in love with. You're not passionate about acting. So find what you're actually passionate about it, and then leave no stone unturned. फिर कुछ नहीं है. एक बार पता लग गया ये है ना, दिन रात एक कर दो, मेहनत करोगे ना, कोई आपसे कुछ लेकर नहीं जा सकता. I've seen it, and I'm reaping some kind of benefits of it. I've worked hard towards a few things. I'm getting those. Some things that I've not worked hard towards, वो नहीं आया अभी. वो आएगा.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. I think there's no better way of explanation, of building a life around passion. Find the passion, not the idea of passion. It's complete paradigm shift. Thank you so much once again, Rannvijay, for taking the time out. I love your work. Please keep inspiring people.
Thank you so much.
More than what people see you on the screen as a personality, as an icon, I think you have a deep foundation, the vast knowledge that you have in impacting so many power, okay? Give it up for Rannvijay Singha!
Thank you, guys. So many great comments from all these guys. I just want to say, so sweet, guys. Your comments are amazing. And love you guys. 𝗲𝗲𝗍, thank you so much. And all of you enjoy yourselves. See you.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you. Take care. God bless you. God bless you.